today I'm going to be shifting gears a little bit from all the big stuff that needs to get done. Still working through the side garden. So today's video is me just tidying up the front porch area. So as you can see, it's not super big, but it is very neglected. But we like to spend a lot of time out here in the mornings, especially during the spring and earlier on in the summer. It's just a nice place to come out first thing in the morning. And me and my mom and my son used to hang out and spend time here. I love coming out here and reading or having my tea or meditating. And there's quite a bit to get done. It's about 4 in the afternoon and the days are longer, but I don't know how much time we have. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So these are some of Mommy's begonias. She planted these. They're gonna get really tall and bushy as the season comes. They would be taller, but you can probably see in here, they've already been chewed on. The deer love these. So they like to come and they will eat on them all season, but there's meant to get these really beautiful red flowers on them. So I have my son's toys, all that stuff needs to be picked up. Trimming up these bushes, and I actually think I'm gonna get the saw out and just saw this one down. I'm gonna probably just take this one out because it's a holly bush and it's right here next to where I'd prefer to sit. So I think we're gonna cut that out and clean this up. So I have my berries. So I'm gonna get berries and I'm gonna get going. Who's that? It's my cat. She'll always scare me. Hello.
Hand sawing the branches off of this bush actually was really easy. It maybe took 10 to 15 minutes. The blue chair I definitely plan on keeping. I'm just going to move it to the back screened-in porch. And a lot of these old planters, I'm simply going to dump out the soil and recycle it and keep the plastic planters that aren't cracked.
I think it's time to go in the trash.
So a little bit of a confession, when I went back to edit this video, it actually was really difficult because there was something so soothing about cleaning. I debated back and forth in my mind if I was actually going to turn this into an ASMR video, because just the sound of the brush going across the concrete of the porch was just so soothing and relaxing. Ultimately, I decided against it because chances are you did not come here for ASMR or relaxing mundane sounds. However, if you do like that or you want to see just the full cleaning process, go ahead and comment below and I will happily upload the full unedited clean up version of this video.
Found a very old, beat up plastic table. It's vintage. It's from the 90s, darling. So I'm gonna go spray paint it while the porch dries, and we're gonna reuse this for the porch. We'll see how it goes. So my choices were gold or black. I'm going with black. So I went and grabbed some of these new planters.
So I'm transferring my grandmother's very heavy, very healthy hostas into these planters. These planters that I got actually didn't have a very good drainage hole, so I ended up drilling one and I had to go through both sides. It was a weird kind of double layered plastic, but everything worked out well. There will be a condensed version of this video on my TikTok page. But today we're going to be going through with a little bit more detail so you can understand the process. I used a combination of soil from old planters that I was emptying out, as well as compost and manure to put my hostas into. If you are taking the time to repot your plants, make sure you're not just putting them in a bigger container, but that you're also feeding them lots of nutrients.
Those are so root bound. And I'm already feeling right here, because I was noticing on the other one, its leaves are looking like they were getting cooked. And I'm feeling right here at the top of the soil, it's really warm. And these are shade-loving plants. And since cutting down the trees, even though it hasn't gotten above 60, like maybe 64, 65, it's still warm. So this other pot, which is much shorter, I think she was already getting too hot.
So these are root bound. That means that the roots have been locked inside their container and they haven't had space to sprawl. So this was actually very, very tight. And so I'm putting firm but also delicate pressure on there to loosen up the soils. I'm using my fingers to go in and wiggle it loose because I want to free the base of the roots, but I don't want to damage them.
Faithful, they come back every single year. And I remember where Grandmommy had these at the house.
When transferring your plants, feel free to kind of shift back and forth to figure out how you want your plants to be situated in their new pot. Mine were sitting down a little low and then they were a little crooked, so I moved them back and forth to make sure that I had it at the right height and that the roots were going to be loose enough.
They come back every year and then they get these beautiful, long, elegant white flowers on them later on in the summer. But, you know, FYI, the deer love to eat these too. So we fight a lot when I see them out on my walks in the morning sometimes. This is one of the things that I fuss at them about. I fuss at them about coming into my yard, into my garden, and eating on Grandmommy's lilies. I don't like it. And they hear me and they respectfully, disrespectfully ignore me every single year. So hopefully I can at least get flowers on these this year.
Here's the condensed, easy step-by-step of this same process. Number 1, drill holes in the pot if needed. Number 2, fill the base of your planter with soil. Feel free to add or subtract soil to get the plant at the desired height. Number 3, gently remove the plant from its current container. Make sure you're not damaging any of the green tops or the roots. Then gently but firmly massage the roots with the palms of your hands. Shake away about 1/4 to 1/3 of the old soil medium. Then arrange in your new pot, adjust for the depth and spacing as needed. And finally, you will fill in the remainder of the container with your soil or fertilizer. And you want to fill it up to the base of the plant, not covering the greens, but making sure all of the roots are covered. And if you wish, you can put a slow release plant food fertilizer on top of the soil. So now it's time to do a similar process for transferring the creeping jennies and the petunias into my coconut hanging basket. What I learned last year is that coconut liners are very wide but shallow. So what I do is take the plant and sit it down in the coconut basket first to see how much room I have to work with. Because these plants are still babies and delicate, though they look very established and healthy, I want to keep them completely in their growing medium that they're used to. So unlike the older plants that I had where I wanted to kind of break it up and add nutrients back into the soil, these are new, they're annuals, so their soil medium is actually already pretty nutrient rich.
So what I love about creeping jennies, I've used them before, is that they sprawl, and I've seen it. I haven't had it happen for me yet, but I've seen it, that if you get it just right, they spill over the sides. So maybe this year we'll get lucky. Maybe this year I'll be able
Once I have a good feel for how much space these plants are going to take up, it's just as simple as gently getting them out of their starter containers, and I fill in a little bit of soil in between the spaces as I go along. And now it's just time to reassemble. I've rearranged this porch probably about 15 more times since after recording, and that's okay, as long as you're happy with your space whenever you're done.
I'm gonna pop these off. You just come over here and you look under the plants, and the hooks are right there, and they just pop off, just like that. It's actually gonna get hostess. These are on clearance. If you looked at my other video, you probably saw where I filled them in, used them to help fill in. I couldn't leave them there. They were on clearance. They're beautiful. They're perennials. They grow back. So go in to your Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, wherever your local nursery is, and see if they have these on discount, because these were almost about 75% off. So, and they smell amazing. So I'm actually going to repot them in this third pot and put them right over here. So when I come out in the spring, in the mornings, I get to smell my beautiful hyacinths. They're wonderful. So that is it.
Everything was great right after I was done, but after a couple of weeks, everything's really popping and flourishing. Everybody is really happy to have gotten their plant food and to be repotted. This really was a fun and simple afternoon gardening project. So I hope you feel inspired to carve out a little space of your own to create your own oasis. Remember to like and subscribe and turn on that cute little bell notification so that way you can get the updates. We will be revisiting the porch throughout this season and figuring out what else we can add on and enhance. But until then, grow in peace.
Get it off. Wait. Pinch and pull. Well, there you go.